Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Peter said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us.
"アメリカ国民に説明できるか。なぜお前は子供を人身売買し犯したスグマン庁舎を守っているのか。なぜ子供を人身売の儀式を犯した億万庁舎を守っているのか。
了解。事実を淡々と述べるトーンで、ダウ平均は今5万ドルを超えています。S&P は7000部前、ナスディックも過去最高を更新しています。それこそ話題にすべきことです。それがエプスタインのファイドと何の関係があるんですか？本気ですか
？Is that how you say Epstein in Japanese? Epstein.
I would assume so, because it's a proper noun. So just like in Spanish, it would be Epstein.
It sounds German.
Okay.
Sounds
but
German.
There's still the Steen in there. And remember, there was that problem with the Jews and the Germans back in the day, allegedly.
That's true. That's actually, yes, they were on the same team. They were part of the Axis.
Yeah.
So there might be a thing there. Welcome to another episode of the NewsBrief. Today is Thursday. It is February 12th, and it is 12:10 p.m. Thank you for joining us today. We still have the same problem as we did on Tuesday, which was, for some reason, it doesn't show up as a post when we go live. You got to like literally click on the profile picture. And I don't know if it's just us that's happening to us or it's happening to other people. But it seems like every account that we're going live on, maybe it's an RTMP thing. I'll have to check after today's show because I thought it was a temporary thing. So today I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Barry. Barry, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. It's going really good. Can't complain.
I think it's just me and you today. I think Reno's in the comments and Kim hasn't answered. So it's just me and you today on a couple stories. And I want to try to keep it to an hour. Last time we were talking, on Tuesday, we were talking about the Epstein files and how like I'm not like a professional and like I don't have time to sit there. Let me bring my lights up a little bit. I'm a little dark.
Insert racist comment here.
And I still haven't looked into it. I got regular people shit to do and I can't. So I appreciate everybody that is going through them. But something that I was able to see, and we started it kind of with a pre-intro on the show, was the Pam Bondi hearings. And I see a lot of pandering on both sides of the aisle. And I see a lot of exaggerations on both sides of the aisle. And I see people that are like, oh my God, she did great. Look at her annihilate. And she didn't. Actually, I think she performed very poorly. And look, for all the shit that I give Pam Bondi, she usually does really good at these hearings. She's usually very aggressive. Here, she took a kind of like aggressive, retarded stance where she's not answering any of the questions, and she's just deflecting with the with Massey. She did like a Trump you got Trump derangement syndrome, and I'm not a huge fan of Massey.
When
But
he's
the way
right,
that
he's right.
when he's right, he's right. And I think Massey is only mentioned like the Epstein files a couple times before this, and now his obsession is the Epstein files. Not to say that nobody ever cares about it, but it's kind of the same thing. Maybe it wasn't his beat. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he doesn't give a shit. Maybe he's a paid shill. A Qatari show, which is what people usually say. But it doesn't matter because the substance here is a substance. There's a law that was clearly passed by Congress saying, everything must be unredacted except the victim files. And I've seen where countless times, nonstop, it's not the victims that are being protected, it's that they just keep blurring out, redacting, like messages of actual people that did some shit. Let me go ahead and play this. I'm just going to play a small portion of it. This is not a clip of Kash Patel. Massey's using this clip to show if Pam Bondi holds the same position as Kash Patel. Let me back up a little bit here. And it turns into a full-out shouting match, which I find kind of distasteful anyways, but here we go.
I want you to watch the video.
Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules here.
There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
Is that your position as well?
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Did you ask?
Do they need to call? Because I feel like that's not. They're talking about these victims being afraid to call, and I've made my comments clear on the last one. But they got the names of these victims. They're the DOJ. They're tasked with, and the FBI. They're tasked with investigating and prosecuting. Why don't you call these people? But let's keep going.
Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I am reclaiming my
the
time.
last
I'm
4
glad you're
years?
asking about Merrick Garland.
Let me pause here because I thought he was going to say something else here. And I don't know if you've seen this clip, Barry. Have you seen this?
Most of it, yeah. I've seen this part.
Okay, so when I said Merrick Garland, when he says Merrick Garland, I'm like, oh, he's going to hit her. I think there was a couple of points here Massey could have used to fucking just annihilate her. And it's like, well, wait, let's talk about Merrick Garland. You haven't prosecuted Merrick Garland. That's where I thought he was going with it. Because he's an easy prosecution. If Peter Navarro and Steve Bannon were hit with contempt of Congress, he could be hit with it too. But again, let's continue.
You gotta reclaim
Because
time
this
when
is
you don't-
bigger
when-
than
when you can't-
Watergate.
When I don't answer a question the way
This
you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible.
And you are responsible. Some people don't remember that Pam Bondi was based in Florida, and she was the AG for Florida, and she could have taken action against Epstein at any point. She chose not to.
For this portion of it.
And that's
now,
where the
I want to
most
know at what
transparent-
point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it back on the screen, please, to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not, and it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
Time of the gentleman has
Which,
expired.
may she answer?
And he's a hypocrite because he voted against the ban that we were talking about on deep fake AI porn.
What the fuck does that have to do with the answer?
Absolutely nothing.
Just like the rent, and we did it in that Japanese anime thing in the beginning. She's asked a question, and then she completely deflects and says, she starts talking about the fucking stock market. And that is just like you know the answer to the question. I understand why she doesn't want to answer, because the answers aren't pretty. But let's continue.
Only 2 people voted against it, and you were one of them, hypocrite.
The gentleman's time has expired.
She didn't answer the question.
Mr.
Yeah,
Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, could she answer the question?
Chairman, I was wondering.
The gentlelady's allowed, the Attorney General's allowed to respond the way she wants to respond to any member's questions, Republican, Democrat.
All right, I have unanimous consent request.
Gentleman's recognized for a UC.
All right, this is an example. I'm submitting these 302 forms that are entirely redacted, even when you go to look at them.
Without objection.
I'm submitting a witness statement that implicates Les Wexner.
Without objection.
I'm submitting an article from the New York Times that the DOJ released nude photos and identifiable pictures of the victims. I'm submitting a letter from AG Bondi to Kash Patel, imploring him to quit keeping the files when you found out that they were keeping files from you, because they're still redacting files that you.
Chairman, are we going to recess for votes?
Yes, we are.
I'm submitting for unanimous consent a document of 17 individuals who've resigned because of the Epstein files.
Without objection.
So, hate him or love him, some of the shit you could say, well, you know, he's been a piece of shit here, he's been a piece of shit there, he didn't vote for this, he didn't vote for that. But like on this point, even if it's like an obsession, is he wrong?
Well, I would just be grateful that at least somebody seems to be taking this fucking seriously, because the sentiment in Congress right now is that nobody is on both sides, and I can't play politics for my side either. I mean, this is serious. These are children we're talking about, and I think Pam Bondi's answers were extremely sloppy and ignorant to some extent. This is what we ridicule the left for. That constant behavior, and here she is filibustering herself essentially.
And this should be like a slam dunk, right? This should be like, all right, let's just release it, let the cards fall where they may. And like, I'm 100% sure there's 20,000 times, and Reno over here says it's not a partisan issue, and it's not a partisan issue, but if you release them, there's a lot more fucking liberals on there than they are fucking conservatives, right? Yeah. Like you want to slam dunk on just pedophiles, period. You could just release the whole thing, and like as an added bonus, you're gonna fucking like capture a shit ton of fucking liberals with it. And like, here's another thing, and I brought this up on the last. So you can keep calling these people that have this obsession with the Epstein files. You can call them fringe, right? But you can't ignore them because they're part of this umbrella, right? This coalition that the president made in 2024. And in order, you have to listen to those people. It's just like that's the way the cookie crumbles, you know? A world, Pam Bondi's world and like my world, or the world of like these Epstein obsessed people, I'm using air quotes, you could kind of just shut them up by being like, here you go, you motherfucker. And they need to shut up at that point, right? Let the people fucking look through these files and start prosecuting these people, because there's not a single person that's in here besides Epstein that was prosecuted. And he was prosecuted during the Trump era. So that you got to give credit where credit's due when it comes to Trump. And when he says it's not a hoax, I mean, he says it's a hoax. I think what he's talking about is like the left's version of these events.
Sure. Enrique, for someone that's actually gone to federal prison, why do they keep making this situation weirder? Why did Todd Blanche meet with Ghislaine Maxwell and all of a sudden now she's in a camp? When you and I both know that sex offenders cannot go to a camp, period. That's Federal Bureau of Prisons law and mandate. How did that happen? Why did that happen?
So I don't know. I'll tell you, maybe she has the points to be at a camp. Maybe they took off, unless like us. Well, no, there's some sex offenders.
No, look it up.
Well, in Pensacola, there was a shit ton. But it's harder for them because they put, what you're talking about is they put, what's that shit called? The management variable.
Yeah.
They put a management variable on them and they hardly ever take it off. In some cases, they do take it off. But in this case, she got a 20-year sentence. that removal shouldn't be done until like, I mean, they should. 20 years is way too little, but I'm just saying by policy,
10 years for a camp, right? Less than 10 years.
you got to be under 10 years, and then the management variable is still an issue. And I don't think that they should take it for sex offenders. I think that they should never take it off. But like on low violence crimes and stuff like that, they usually wait to like sorry. They usually wait to your last 5 years to take that off. And then she's in a cushy prison. She just pled the fifth. This is a real issue for Republicans going into fuck the midterms. Going into the next general election, because you got to build that coalition again. Because the name of the game is get more votes than the other guy. So these people that are like, oh, we need to kick them out of the Republican Party. How about you just ignore them and let them vote however the fuck they let them vote with you and ignore them, right? But you can't ignore them if their main issue is not being addressed. So here we're just talking about winning, right? Power is what we're talking about. You can't dismiss these people. It's a grand portion of the coalition that, fuck, why do I keep yawning? Yeah. Oh, it's because I'm home.
It's the nice cozy lights around you.
Yeah. It's dark. I feel like going to bed. So some of these things, and she didn't just do horrible with Massey. Some of them you could tell that like liberals were just trying to dunk on her, but she still didn't answer those correctly. I've been watching these.
And the fact is always, the conversation is always going to come back to this, and it's a very relevant point. Why have there been no more arrests? I mean, and Massey's right to say that we can go back to prior administrations and ask the same question. So, what's going on? This is low-hanging fruit at this point.
It is, and it's not going to end. And all you're doing is just giving more fuel to the conspiracy fire. Let's say for a second, which is bullshit. Let's say for a second, Epstein wasn't trafficking people. Let's just use that for argument's sake. If he wasn't trafficking people and the DOJ has this information, why do they keep redacting these fucking names? Because all you're doing is like these people that are believing in this air quote conspiracy theory, all you're doing is just fucking helping their cause out. I don't get it. I don't understand.
I think Pam Bondi's issuing Pam Bondi's issuing some kind of subpoena for somebody.
For what?
Brennan.
Oh, she's issuing a subpoena for Brennan. What about Comey? Letitia James?
Yeah.
The seditious, what is it? The seditious six?
The seditious six.
Did you see what happened with that?
Well, absolutely nothing.
The grand jury, they picked the grand jury in D.C. And the grand jury, they could indict a ham sandwich.
Right.
But in D.C., they can't indict shit because they came back and they said, no charges. What's that called? I was on that show the other day. It's true bill or no bill. And they all voted true bill, meaning not to bring up charges on these people. All 7 of them. And they're celebrating. Rightfully so. They're like, oh, yeah, of course. I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, because the grand jury is made up of your own fucking people.
Yeah. We know what that's like.
We know exactly what that's like. Well, the opposite effect with us.
Yeah. There's no such thing as a fair trial in D.C. if you're a conservative or have any even conservative leanings. They're going to hang you. It's a guaranteed thing. And if you do participate in their color revolution, they're going to let you off scot-free every time. I mean, you look at all the J6ers that were given all that time for assault on a federal officer, but when Matthew Graves, the same district attorney out of D.C. at the time, a guy punches a female Capitol police officer during a Palestinian riot, and he gives him 48 hours community service. I mean, what else do you need?
So they're like, oh, well, the crime committed in D.C. Well, the District of Columbia is a federal. Uh, it's federal, and when you call, this is so easy because these are the rules, right? You got to indict where the crime happened, unless like if you're going to trial, if there's if there's a prejudiced jury, then you change venues. But when it comes to grand juries, in this case, it's very easy, and they were calling on service members to disobey direct orders from the president, right? All they need to do is find one of these service members that feels that way in Arizona, in Florida, South Florida, Texas. And the crime was committed, then part of the crime was committed there in those jurisdictions, and you could find a grand jury there. No, but they wanted to try it in D.C.
Yeah.
Jeanine Pirro wanted to try, and Pam Bondi wanted to try it in D.C. And they failed miserably. And they continue to fail, and they continue to show us they failed. And there's people that continue to champion for her, like she's not going to be the issue when they put Trump in cuffs in 2029, because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're playing. They're obviously in on the game, or they're not taking it seriously. But they can't have it both ways. But this is continuing to snowball. And I, for one, was one of those people that for the last several months have been rolling their eyes at, because I'm on the side of, these things take time. Okay, maybe they're working on it. Okay, yeah, no. At this point, no. There's
At this time, you're not working on shit.
Not doing shit. And your answers on Capitol Hill prove that.
Yeah. So let's talk about where Pam Bondi got something right, because we don't want to just continue to trash on Pam Bondi, as fun as that is. There was an arrest, and I believe it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Somebody in Portland that has harassed me, has harassed Serena, and has harassed like a whole bunch of people. And it's not just harassing, it's threats. His name is
for violence.
We were trying to figure out how to pronounce his last name, but I'm just going to say Travis Jur. It's Juhr.
I think that's Nordic or something.
Don't give him that. Don't give him that. Let me see let me refresh this and pull this up.
Probably Newfoundland.
To scene, media share, screen share. Here it is. This website's full of those stupid fucking ads. Feds bust Portland man over online threats to Trump and ICE backers. One of them, if I'm not mistaken, it's Ryland and Ryland's mom. Yeah. In this case. Yeah, so it's not just Trump. He was sending violent threats to this kid that he's under 18 and his mom.
Wow.
So I'm going to go ahead and read this out. Let me close this so I could read. Let me close this because they keep fucking doing ads. A Portland man accused of posting violent messages online that targeted President Donald Trump and supporters of immigration, ICE, and customs enforcement was arrested Wednesday and brought into federal court, where prosecutors promptly moved to delay any chance he has of release. FBI agents arrested 41-year-old. Damn, he's 41?
Jesus.
He's had a rough 41 years of his life. Travis William Jur at his Portland home, and he appeared before a magistrate in Portland that afternoon. Prosecutors told the judge they needed more time to investigate the alleged online threats before detention decision is made. According to an FBI affidavit and local reporting, investigators say Jur posted multiple threats on social media platforms aimed at Trump and people backing ICE. One message that investigators traced to Jur allegedly included a photo of a Sig Sauer rifle next to two stickers, a green frog, which we know where that's from, and another one that read, "I choose violence." And that is a quote from George R. Martin's Game of Thrones, sent in a Facebook message in February, which I always find this kind of crazy. He always picks up like these Marvel superheroes and shit like that to like Like he carries around the fucking shield. He wears a brown leather jacket. He smells like shit.
Yes, I heard this. I heard that he actually, from multiple sources, this isn't just you. I mean, there's been a few people that say like they swear he defecates himself prior to showing up to any
I smelled it, and you know I can't smell anything, Barry. And I was there, and I smelled it in real time. And it didn't smell like a fart. It smelled like before he got in his car, he shit his pants, and then he was smushing it all the way down to the Portland Ice facility, and that's how he walked out of his car.
Yeah, smush shit pants is a distinct smell. It's not just your average shart or
We've been in
anything
prison.
Yeah, we know.
We know what shit smells like.
When a schizophrenic guy with one tooth that's high on K2 shits his pants and rubs it in and is left in the cell for 3 days and then comes out, you never forget that.
Correct. So I'm going to continue. Court records also allege he threatened a woman and her 13-year-old son who had attended a counter protest outside the ICE building in November. And his name's Rylan. He follows me. I share his stuff sometimes. As reported by Oregon Live, investigators traced at least one post to a phone number linked to Juror. At Wednesday's first appearance, federal prosecutors asked a magistrate to delay a release. I want to actually tell you guys that. Delay a release hearing while they continue their review of the alleged posts. As Oregon Live reported, U.S. Magistrate Judge Stacy Beckerman said the government has shown cause to postpone the hearing. Jury is no stranger to demonstrations at the South Waterfront. The Portland Police Bureau booked Travis Juror into
Multnomah
County Detection Center. So he has a U.S. Marshals hold, because obviously the Marshals came picked him up, probably with another agency, and he was booked into his closest county jail. 8. I don't know why this 8 is here. On November 8th, on a charge of third-degree criminal mischief and public. Wait, what? Why is this like all fucked up? And public court records show earlier state arrests were later dismissed. I'm guessing this is like an older charge on November 8th, obviously. The Portland Police Bureau news release documenting the November booking is available on the site Portland Police Bureau. Legal context: threats against the president are a federal crime under 18 U.S.C. 871, which makes it unlawful to knowingly and willfully threaten the life of the president, carries penalties that include up to 5 years in prison. The statute, along with other federal laws that criminalize threats against government officials, gives prosecutors the tools to pursue cases that start with online posts and grow into broader investigations. What happens next? Prosecutors told the court they needed additional time to gather evidence, and the matter will return to federal court for further proceedings, which I'm guessing is at the end of the week. The arrest comes after months of sometimes heated clashes outside the ICE field office in South Waterfront, an episode that featured one arrest amid South Waterfront protests last November, and the federal investigators say they will continue their review. So I've compiled, let me bring this down off the screen really quick.
Hopefully you're going to say video of Travis' finest art.
I don't have the videos, but I have like direct, and I have to show them little by little because I don't have a screen, one of those screen changing like PowerPoint presentations. But he sent this message to Lance. I can't find you easily, Lance, but your family in Texas is certainly not hard to track down and execute. Say your goodbyes. I'm getting a plane ticket today.
Wow.
He has sent me numerous messages. Let's start with.
I'd like you to get in and touch on some of the vulgar and disgusting and heinous things he has no problem saying to women.
And this one I find crazy because he just sent me this, a couple weeks ago. Enjoy prison, you bald fuck. This was after I got the arrest warrant.
That certainly didn't age well for him.
No, I didn't age well at all for Travis.
That's not a good look, Travie. Hopefully they have cell phones where he's at.
It's possible.
I don't think he's got the federal detention center prison cell phone kind of money.
Let me pull this up so I could read it off because I can't. My screen's kind of small here.
I see that Right Side Rebel is trying to correct our pronunciation of Multnomah. Well, I don't really care. I've been to the falls. It's beautiful. I love the bridge. But, it is what it is.
So if you see in this one, and I know it might be hard to zoom in, but he says, "I'll be taking trophies from feds' heads." Wow. And he's dude, it's like a constant with this guy and the threats and he's turned these threats into like real world shit. Like he's attacked people, he's assaulted people. He's told countless people in Portland that he's going to come kill them, that he's going to kill Trump, that he's going to kill ICE. So this guy deserves not to be released, not because I'm a dickhead, but because they set the precedent with us, right? Yeah. They did much worse with us, and they kept us out of the loop. So they kept us in prison. So I think that they should keep this guy in prison because he is a threat. He is a threat to society. And he is going to continue to be so if he's released. He's shown that these arrests mean nothing to him because on his way to a hearing, he assaulted another person. Who was it that he assaulted there?
That was the person he was going to court for.
Was it?
Yeah, the person he assaulted and was going to court was there to film, and he assaulted him again on the way into the courtroom.
Yeah, so this guy is a danger to society. He should be locked up, and they should put a muzzle on him.
Now, do you feel that there's also this sense of entitlement when it comes to these Portland leftist agitators? Because for so long, their actions have gone unimpeded. They haven't had to suffer any consequences on a state level because the state is behind them. Well, now big dog's in the federal system, and there's a new administration in charge. But I would ask you, Enrique, if we see the same thing and this thing just disappears for Mr. Travis and he walks out that fucking that jail, I'm going to have some problems with that. And it wouldn't be Democrats I'd be blaming.
Well, you could see already this is also part of the case. So the pretrial detention services, which is usually like a local like probation office, they're probably used to dealing with like scum like him all the time. They want to release him. Pretrial wants to release him. And then the prosecutors aren't taking, you know what? I'll wait till the next hearing. They aren't taking an aggressive stance. They have all these messages, and it's easy to say, "Judge, look at all this shit. Look at these videos of him assaulting people. Look at the picture of the AR." There's many people that aren't J6ers that were caught up on J6 because of those threats. I don't know if you spent some time with them. There was a couple in Northern Neck, like an older man that said that he was going to kill Fauci or whatever, and they kept him in pretrial detention the whole time. Yeah. You know,
well, they said I threatened an FBI agent only to drop that charge later because it never happened. But that's what they used to deny my pretrial release.
Yeah. Reno says he got denied bail. Unless that happened this morning, he didn't get denied bail. It's just the prosecutors had given enough proof to the judge to delay the bail hearing. Unless, I don't know if you're reporting on something that happened this morning. But for the most part, he might be out by this weekend. He'll be at the ICE facility by Saturday, threatening more people. And I hope that the Portland Patriots fucking go ahead and smoke his ass while he's there. And he's going to threaten them again. And hopefully that's enough.
Now, just for clarification, you didn't mean smoke like unalive. You meant
I didn't mean
roast
like,
his ass.
Roast his ass.
Yeah,
yes.
Verbally.
Yeah. If I want to say unalive somebody, I'll say unalive. I say smoked for everything. Yeah. So I hope they roast his ass. How's that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I guess thank you, Pam Bondi, for this little fucking. Thank you for the crumbs.
It's almost like an insult when you say it like that, Enrique.
Thank you for the crumbs, Pam Bondi. I appreciate you so much. You had a story that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I did. I think it's pretty important that we all get behind this and talk about this. There was a missing child, 17 years old, and her name was Hailey Busby, and she was recently found dismembered, I believe, sexually assaulted in a nearby forest. where she was from. Her parents are trying to push for a law called Hailey's Law. And what Hailey's Law will induce is when a person under the age of 18 is reported missing, they are trying to lobby North America for a pink alert, much like the amber alert and much like the silver alert when an elderly person is missing. Well, that happens a lot down here in Florida. But what's going on with these kids is let's say there's somebody that's 16 or 17, and let's just add to the fact that doesn't always need to be a factor here, that this is a troubled teen. All right, 16, 17. The mom or dad goes to the police and reports this child missing. Well, if it hasn't been 24 to 48 hours, depending on the state, they will not file a missing persons report and start to investigate. Way too often, we're finding that these children have been abducted or harmed. And in this case, this individual, he courted this girl and manipulated her through Roblox, the gaming system. And
Yes.
he was able to get her to meet him in person, where he did what he did to her. And her parents tried to report her missing, to no avail from the police, because the state's law says they can't start investigating until 48 hours. We need to change that. We need to change that in every state. If we're seeing anything right now, it's just how vulnerable and unprotected American children actually are. And I, for one, am for this pink alert to go out nationwide if there is ever a missing child. And, you've got a lot of influencers like JD DeLay and the Alaskan Avenger have huge platforms that defend these kids. And hopefully they can, and I'm sure they probably already have, start pushing for this. Start pushing for state legislation for a pink alert, because our children are worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's these tragedies. I mean, like, we got to do, you're never going to eradicate these fucking crazy people. Although you should eradicate them when you catch them.
Yeah.
But things like this will at least soften the blow, you know? In other news, in Florida news, something that I find extremely disturbing that I didn't see till right now, that I was just scrolling. You're going to hate this, Barry.
Uh-oh.
This is one of the worst bits of news that I've seen in a while.
Like, for me specifically, or you
For us.
too? For us? Okay.
Yeah, for us.
All right.
Wait, oh no, wrong. Sorry, wrong screen.
You said Travis was running for mayor or something. Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Mark Zuckerberg, whose wife, let's add this, whose wife gave money to fight the Recall Gavin protest, the Recall Gavin vote. She gave, I think, like $800,000 towards it. Mark Zuckerberg officially leaves California, which that surprises nobody. But here's the problem. Relocates to Florida to avoid a new wealth tax. We don't fucking want you here, you fucking lizard fucking person. Actually, you know what? I always got to look at the positive in things. I hope he moves to Florida. Because I'm going to do the Tim Walls with this guy. And I hope he moves to Miami, which might be the thing. So me and Barry could drive by his house over and over again with the bullhorn and call him a retard. And we should do that to what's those two brothers that live here in Florida? I didn't know that they lived here in Florida.
What, the Island Boys?
Christine, whatever, Ed, and the other one.
I don't know.
The Crapstein brothers, bro, that they're on Twitter.
I don't know. I don't know.
Fucking shit. Now you're gonna make me look him up.
But I mean, I'm really digging this whole driving. He's probably going to move to Star Island or something gated. I'd imagine ultra gated.
Brian and Ed Crafstein.
Oh, Craftsteins. They live here?
They live in Southwest Florida.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and his brother over here, and I think people went to his house and actually did some crazy shit. I don't support that, but
yeah, I wouldn't want to vandalize anything.
No, I just want to pass by and just fucking
call him a fag.
Brian and Ed Crafstein.
All right.
There's not much other news going on. Because now news cycles. You've noticed this, like news cycles have actually taken over. It's like we're going back in time. They're like taking over longer periods of time. Like instead of just being like a 1 or 2 day thing, they're just a continuous onslaught of fucking.
It's like they're trying
coverage.
to hide something.
Like the Guthrie. I'm fucking up names today. Guthrie, is that her name?
I believe so. Samantha Guthrie's mother. Yeah. That's a strange case, man. Just developing story today. They found a glove that appears to be a glove in the video that they had. And they found it a mile from the house. So there's that. The guy just decided to take a glove and throw it in a bush a mile away while running with an older woman.
Is this like an OJ kind of thing?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know how to take this, man. I mean, this is it's a very strange case.
There's
You see this shit
something
in movies, and you don't really see it in real life like this.
There's something fishy here, right? Because like I don't know, she's just a reporter, right? She's not like a billionaire, tech giant. She's a reporter. She probably makes really good money. But like to take the mother of this person, there's something going on here.
Yeah.
There's something personal that
Did
we're
you
not.
piss,
we
did
don't
you
know.
piss somebody off? Which I'm not condoning taking eight.
No, you never
God,
should.
I hope this
It's-
woman is okay and safe.
I don't see. I hope this ends on a good note. I doubt it.
Yeah.
Um.
Well, like let's just say somebody took Don Lemon's mother. I'd be like, oh no, that's terrible. They shouldn't do that. But like, I would get it because of the things he does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this, I don't think this woman is really, no matter what her political views are, I don't think she's very active in them.
Yeah.
Or influential, for that matter.
Yeah, I don't think she's influential enough to be. So there's something personal here that they're not releasing.
I just hope the best for the woman. She's 15 days, 16 days away from her pacemaker.
Yeah.
Not good, man. Not good.
Yeah. Well, that pretty much concludes our show for today. Barry, thank you for joining me today. Reno, Jose, Serena, rest of the people out here that are always on. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Barry, any last words for the firing squad?
Yes. If you want to support our work and continue to help us grow, please go to 1776.shop. Share it out. Let people know about it. That's where you can get the best merch, and the spiciest merch can always be found on the American Rising store on 1776.shop.
And I'll close out with this. Tim Rivers sent me like this beautiful thing. He sent me all the American Gulag Chronicles books. And he sent me this letter, right? Beautiful paper, really nice. And then he sent me one of 100 challenge coins. You have one of these?
I did. I just got mine today. I'm really glad you brought this up. It's super cool. The back is cool.
This one, I don't have autofocus here, but it's POW J6. It's actually a pretty cool coin.
Yes, and I don't know if you noticed, but all of my letters are in all three versions of the book. Did you get the books?
I got the books. I've never paged through them. They're so close.
I have, and I don't see any, letters from Enrique Tarrio. I wonder why.
Well, I'll tell you why. I didn't have fucking pencil and paper when I was fucking traveling like I was.
Hey man, you gotta learn how to use your flesh wallet when you're going through those travels.
Yeah, because that's the first thing I think of. I should put a fucking pencil and a roll of paper up my ass so I could send fucking letters out.
Well, you need, where there's a will, there's a way. If you don't have the will, then communication is not that important to you.
You know how hard it was to get the phone in there? Like, look at this thing.
Yeah, no, I know. And then the fact that you did it sideways is what was impressive.
Yeah, I know. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to roll this tape one more fucking time because I enjoyed the shit out of this. And then we'll roll for outro. Thank you guys, and thank you guys for watching.
アメリカ国民に説明できるか。なぜお前は子供を人身売買し犯したスグマン庁舎を守っているのか。なぜこと前を人身売の儀式を犯した億万庁舎を守っているのか。
了解。 事実を淡々と述べるトーンでダウ平均は今5万ドルを超えています。 S&P は7000部前、ナスディックも過去最高を更新しています。それこそ話題にすべきことです。それがエプスタインのファイドと何の関係があるんですか？本気ですか
？Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Prosecutors said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
And FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertainers. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are